Hey guys, it's Sumire. In this video, I'm gonna show you what I got from Sephora sale. The first one, probably you know this one, super good sunscreen. And first time I tried this one was a sample from Sephora. I don't really go back to store to get actual stuff, but when it comes to this one, I really like how thin it applies, how lightweight. So I got this size first and I used them all. This time I got bigger size. But to be honest with you, when I put makeup on, this is a little too big. I don't know, because I'm not used to this big size. So I have empty container. I just put sunscreen in it and I use it from here when I do my makeup. It's much easier. But anyway, it's really nice to have this size because you get to use all over your body, wherever you want. I'm glad I got this size. The next one, I got House Love Foundation. So I was not sure if I should get it or not because the Sephora close to my place, they don't carry House Love. But I heard a lot of great things about this foundation, so I wanted to try. That's why I got that. And the shade I got was 110, light neutral. So since I got this foundation, I have to try their powder, which is talc free. So talc is something very controversial topic. I didn't even know about it, and then I got to know.
Now here's the problem with talcum powder. When they mine it, it always comes with something else called asbestos. And so up to 20% of all products out there with talcum powder have asbestos as a contaminated ingredient. And the problem with asbestos is it can lead...
But this is the actual reality of behind the scenes. Talc is still a risk for having slight traces of asbestos in your makeup. And
So I did some research within my range and I get to know that some articles say Japanese talc is safe, or it really depends on the quality of the talc, how they maintain, or cheap talc is really bad for you. On the other hand, talc is the ingredient it was used since ancient Egypt. So in my humble opinion, it's like there are a lot of food out there which are not healthy at all, or maybe having questionable ingredient which could cause cancer. Cigarette is not healthy, but some people have different opinions. It's really up to you. And then I thought about makeup products. The face powder is something I always use regardless what kind of foundation I use. Because I use liquid foundation, I have to set it. If I use talc every day near my nose, like kind of decent amount, so maybe I prefer to have without talc. Most of my powder doesn't have talc. And then I found House Love doesn't have talc in it. And the case is so pretty and luxury looking. Also when I tried it, I thought as if I had a filter on it. So I'm so excited to use it. I'm gonna review these products together. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do it now. Next one, I got Makeup Forever HD Foundation, which is powder version. So HD foundation means high definition foundation. So that means foundation contains extremely fine pigments which are coated with silicones. So that coating increases light reflection. So when you imagine your skin looks good even 4K, 8K, then what about in person? Because in person no one watches you like a microscope. If the skin looks better 4K, 8K, in person might be much better compared to other foundation. It's been a while to use powder foundation for me. I normally use liquid foundation because it looks very natural. I mean, it depends on the foundation, the texture, but this powder foundation looks very natural, so I really wanted to try it, especially when I'm hurried and I have to cover my imperfection. And then powder foundation is really easy, but I don't want to look cakey, so I'm gonna review this foundation as well, so maybe you can tell how you might like it. And another one from Makeup Forever, I really wanted to try this powder. So this powder is called HD Skin Twist and Light. So it is finishing powder that gives you nice luminous from within. So I debated a lot whether I should get this one from Makeup Forever or from Givenchy. So many people rave about this product, so I really wanted to try this one as well. So I was thinking which one should I get. This is finishing powder, this says setting powder and finishing powder. So when it says setting powder, normally it has ingredient to absorb your oil, so it has oil control. And finishing powder is something you use after using setting powder, because when you set your skin, it tends to look a little bit matte. So by using finishing powder, you can add luminous to it, or you can blow your pores, or there's a many type of finishing powder, but that's the difference. Of course, even finishing powder, the powder is powder. As long as it's powder, it's kind of set. However, it doesn't have oil control, so it doesn't last a long time. If you really want to last your foundation, then you want to use setting powder and then some type of finishing powder to your preference. And actually, I applied this morning, which was like 10 hours ago. This one on my left side and this one this side. But I just lightly did it, so this is something you cannot tell now because it's 10 hours later and I put slightly pomegranate powder on top before I take this video. So I will make a video comparing side by side and how it wears. I'm so excited to do it. And next one, I got eye primer from Rare Beauty. I've been using eye primer from Natasha Denona. I repeat it a lot and I like how creamy it is on my lid. Even it's creamy when I apply Natasha Denona's eyeshadow on top, it applies smoothly for me. But one thing I'm so about the product is the smell. It's fragrance free, but I don't know that it's from the ingredient or something. So I thought it's time to try something else. And I heard this primer is very similar texture to Natasha Denona primer. And I tried this morning and I liked it a lot. I would say Natasha has more coverage, but this is not transparent. It has some level of coverage. So I'm just saying if I compare to each other, this has more coverage. But this seems work great for me. So I'm gonna use this one from now on. Now, concealer. I got it from Lancome. So when I compare my under eyes when I was 20 years old and 20 years later when I'm 40 years old, of course it's not the same. And I've been looking for a good concealer. So what I want from concealer is good coverage but very thin. And I've been watching so many reviews, especially from the people who are 50, 60 years old. That feedback is something very valuable for me. And a lot of people seem to like this concealer. So when I went to Sephora, I tried on my hand and I found out it applies very thin. So this has big application, which I like. But one thing I would complain is this part is very tight. So when I take it out, sometimes concealer splash a little bit, which I don't like too much. But this concealer itself, I really like it. And shade I got is 215 Buff, and that's in USA. Other country might be 023 Beige Aurora. So if you have mature skin, I think you might want to try this. Also, I got foundation brush from Makeup Forever. So this brush here is very soft. So if I want to use full coverage foundation, this is too soft for me. I need to use very dense brush. I would say this brush is light to medium coverage foundation, which I prefer recently. And I never tried brush from Makeup Forever. So this is time to try. I'll let you know how I like it. I got this one using my point. It's Sephora primer. I don't really get Sephora products so much, except for Sephora Pro brushes. But this is something I wanted to try, so I got it mini size. So I've been looking for foundation for a while. I did research on every category. So one is from drugstore, one is from Sephora, one is from something the dermatologist made. The last one is a foundation that are popular among makeup artists. So that's different categories. So if you want to know my favorite foundation from each category, please let me know from comment section. Then I'll make the video for you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye!